Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Masterclass. Take control of your eating habits in 2024. I will allow a few minutes for anyone to join. Hi, Barbara.
Hey, hello. So, Anna, you'll have to excuse me because I am late to eating because I've been very busy today and I'm in intermittent fasting and I need to eat by 8.
It's all good.
Um, I gladly turn off my camera but I'm happy if you don't mind it being on.
I absolutely don't mind. We're going to talk about eating, so it's so good. It's great to have you here. Enjoy your meal, and yes, and then we'll have conversation. I will be taking some questions. And hi, Chris.
Awesome.
Great to see you here. If you can turn the camera on, that would be great. Because yes, this is definitely a safe space. We'll be talking about a lot of different things today, but it would be great. It would be great to just connect with everyone. So yes. So welcome to you, Barbara, to everyone else who will be coming in a minute, and also to everyone who will be watching or who is watching the recording. Today, we are going to talk about our eating habits, and we will take slightly different approach to everything what you might have heard about diets, about losing weight, about changing habits. And we will also talk about why is mindset so important when it comes to changing our habits, making life lasting changes as well. Because we all know that when it comes to different journeys with our eating or different journeys with our bodies, we can get so many different quick results, but all the magic and all the big questions are about, okay, what can I do to keep it sustainable? And this is the secret, and this is that magic. So we'll be diving into all of this today. So just to say a few things about myself. Normally, I would ask why anyone is joining, but Barbara, you just enjoy your meal, and then when you have a few moments, I will just ask you for the reasons. But thank you so much for being here. That's the most important. So when it comes to my journey, the reason why I'm actually doing this masterclass, the reason why I'm really into changing mindset and bringing awareness to emotional eating and binge eating as a really big pandemic currently is the fact that I was the person who spent 25 years in binge eating disorder and non-purging bulimia. For me, emotional eating was my middle name. For me, the eating was my biggest friend, my biggest enemy. That was my silence. That was my award. That was my punishment. I didn't realize that for so many years, but food became everything. Food became answer to every single question, which absolutely wasn't about eating. However, I put that mask of being always happy, being a perfectionist, and no one knew what was happening underneath. So when it comes to my journey, I just wanted to share with you what I looked like for 25 years of my life when it comes to my body. However, from my perspective, the results and the most important changes when it comes to our eating journey are not body related, because everything what we looks like, this is just the result. Our body is just result of everything else what is happening inside, especially the mind. And I never realized that how I look outside is always connected to what is happening in my life. And this is the picture of me at my heaviest and at my current, which is, to be honest, the lightest I've ever been. However, I'm still on my journey. I'm still doing lots of different things, but I made peace with the fact that it's not about how I look. It's about how I feel. It's about who I am. It's about what my journey is. So in my case, it started when I was around 10 years old. I realized that I was different than other kids. I was bigger than other kids. Hi, Laura. Hi, Sharon. I was bigger than other kids, and I couldn't understand why kids were laughing at me, why they were making comments, and why I couldn't do anything to change the way I looked. And it started over there. Then my first diet, my first moments when I started experimenting with not eating things or eliminating things. That was probably when I was around 13, 14 years old. So that was the end of primary school. And then it lasted for the whole high school, the uni times, and then another 12 years after that. And I couldn't understand why all of this was happening. I just didn't know why I can eat really healthy during the day, but then in the evening I will be binging. I will be literally taking chocolate with me and just laying in bed and watching something and numbing myself with food. Or I would have those moments when I will be really good with the gym. I will be eating really healthy, and it would last for a month, 2 or 3. And then all of a sudden I would just lose all the motivation. I won't be able to sustain it for longer. And when I was 34, which was 4 years ago, I met a psychonutritionist who said, I remember watching her on Instagram, I believe, and she said, if you've tried everything in your life to lose weight, just try my program because you've got nothing to lose. And I was thinking, yeah, absolutely. I definitely tried everything, including elimination diets, including fasting. However, it was more like starving, not fasting. Any kind of juicing diets, or the ones where you don't eat sugar or you don't eat 1,000 calories. That was the very popular years ago as well. And I could always get the results, but then I couldn't get them to stay on. And when I met my psychonutritionist, she showed me completely different approach. She showed me that whatever my body looks like on the outside is always connected to what is currently happening in my life. And I remember within the first 3 weeks of working with her, I started questioning absolutely everything. I realized that I wasn't eating food which I liked, or the food which was giving me some kind of enjoyment or pleasure, but I was eating food which I thought that I like, or the food which I was told by the society and the dieting industry that this is something what will help me. And the power of that work which we started doing was understanding that my habits, my mindset, my emotions, all of this is the primary cause of how I'm feeling outside and how I'm looking outside. So after a few months of working with her, I completely fell in love with psychonutrition. Psychonutrition is not something that is very popular in the UK or in the world. It is really popular in Poland, where I come from. And it's absolutely fine, Barbara, regarding the battery. And I just wanted to change something. It was it's become such a big passion of mine that I went back to uni. I studied. I got the qualifications, so I have become a psychonutritionist myself. And for the last 3 years, I've been working with lots of different clients, just helping them see the difference, that if we really want to make changes, we can't only change the behavior, because if we change the behavior, the results will follow. But if we don't change the thoughts and the feelings which are driving the behavior, it will bounce back. We will bounce back. Our results will bounce back. And that's the reason why yo-yo diets or yo-yo results or yo-yo effect is such a popular thing, or such a common thing. Sorry, it's not popular. It's common. So what I wanted to do today on this masterclass is just to tell you about few main things which can help you change your habits this year, and just start making those changes which you will see that it will affect not only how you feel physically, but how you feel emotionally, how you feel mentally, and how you feel energetically as well. Because the moment you start understanding what is happening in your body and what is happening in your mind, you can just see completely different things in your life. That level of shame and guilt, which is very, very high with anyone who struggles with emotional eating, that is something what calms down as well. And when it comes to emotional eating, I think, hi Claire, I think what is a great thing to say is what is emotional eating? Because not everyone realizes that emotional eating has a lot of different phases. Some people might think that, okay, when I feel sad, I eat. And that means that it is emotional eating. And if it was that easy, or that simple, it would be really simple to fix as well. But the reality is that we are not broken, so we don't have to fix anything. We just need to understand some of the patterns which are happening here. So emotional eating is basically the symptoms of that would be eating when we don't feel physically hungry, or having those moments when we eat healthy, but in our heads we can hear lots of thoughts about, okay, we shouldn't be doing this or we shouldn't be doing that. Emotional eating is connected to a lot of very heavy emotions as well, which appear in our head. So basically, if we eat something and then we feel shame and we feel guilt after that, or we might be beating ourselves up or be angry with ourselves, that's the symptom of struggling with emotional eating. And I'm sure that a lot of you who are here and a lot of you who are watching watching the recording, you know that there is some kind of food which might be very challenging for you. It might be the food which every time when you feel a little bit uncomfortable, or you just work and all of a sudden you just find yourself in a cupboard, or you find yourself in a fridge, and you go to get to that food. Or it might be the situation that when you are in a supermarket or in any kind of shop, you go there to buy your weekly shopping, but miraculously you just end up buying your weekly shopping plus some additional stuff which you didn't plan. And this is what emotional eating is about. It's not just being aware of what is happening, but it's actually most importantly what is happening, and you have nothing to explain it like tonight. Exactly. So you know what might be happening. And when it comes to emotional eating, there are a few different reasons why we actually do it. And then yes, I'm just reading the comments from time to time, because everyone who's watching on the recording, you won't be able to see the comments, and just some of them are hilarious. So yes, Claire was saying that tonight she was doing that shopping and making those decisions. However, the choices were healthy. And that's basically, when it comes to choices, that's a great distinction between conscious eating and emotional eating, which is unconscious. Because if we are aware of the choices we are making, then it means that we are aware of what we are eating. If we eat to just help ourselves feel a little bit better, or we seek food for finding some kind of comfort, that's what emotional eating is. And then when it comes to binge eating, it doesn't mean that it needs to be the episode that we eat thousands and thousands of calories, because it's not about this. Sometimes binging might be 3 or 5 cookies, but we know that we absolutely didn't want to eat them, but somehow we realized that we ate them like 10 minutes after it happened. Or we might be coming back from work or doing anything, coming back from anywhere, and on the way home we might eat few bars, and then we will get rid of the wrappers as well, and only after some time we will realize, oh yes, I did that. Oh, I never thought about the fact that I've ate few different things in the meantime. So there are lots of different examples of emotional eating or binge eating, and the most important part is that the reasons for that are based in our habits, are also based in what we believe in and what kind of narratives we've got. Because we are living in amazing time now, in amazing times when there is no scarcity of food. You can buy whatever you want, whenever you want, from any part of the world. You will have it delivered normally within within few hours or within few days. And it's great and it's amazing, Deliveroo, exactly. But at the same time, this is the part which is really challenging, because we, apart from the abundance of food, we also have so many different information which we are being bombarded with every single day. And the diet industry is the biggest industry in the world, is the industry which is making so much money, because the main goal of the diet industry is that people will be failing on diet so then they can go back. And I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy, but this is our human nature. It's absolutely normal that we want to get fast results because we just want to. If we need to suffer for a few days in order to get somewhere where we really want to be, we will do it. If we might not be very happy after that, it doesn't matter, because it's in the future. We will only focus on what is happening now. And this is our human nature. And unfortunately, sugar and chocolate and things like that, processed food, is everywhere. Have you ever noticed that in a supermarket, on a petrol station, in a garage, anywhere, when you go to the till, there is always some kind of choice of processed food? Everywhere, always, unless it's very healthy, or shop with healthy food. That would be different, but still, you will have something next to the till. That's why it's not about us not having a strong will or us not being motivated. Our nervous system is bombarded with so many different informations and so many different impulses from everywhere, that it's really hard to not make those unconscious choices sometimes. Because whatever is happening in our subconscious mind is the feeling one. So if there is something what might be, or if there is a food which reminds us about really good times which we had with our family when we were young, or if there is a food which we always used to feel a little bit better just to comfort ourselves, when the stressful situation comes at work or at home, anywhere, we just automatically reach for that food, because we know that in that moment we will eat it and we will feel much better. But the reality is, the reality of what is happening in our bodies at that moment, when we feel stressed and we reach some food. I will talk about chocolate because it's not like I've got anything against chocolate, but it's a good example. So we might reach for chocolates because we want to feel a little bit better. We want to comfort ourselves. We don't want to feel that pressure anymore, and we eat that chocolate. And at that moment, what happens in our brain? Our receptors in our brain get just numb with the amount of sugar and the amount of dopamine which we get at that moment, and we feel that it's that moment. We feel much better. We feel comforted, or we feel a little bit happier. But what is really happening? This is just the numbness in our receptors. So our brain thinks that we are feeling happier, we are feeling better, but the reality is we just don't feel that pressure, that discomfort which we felt a few moments ago, as much as we felt before we ate something. So then we get to that loop that, all right, every time when I eat, I feel better. But few seconds, sometimes few nanoseconds after that, we've got that voice in our head telling us, you shouldn't be doing this. No, you already had a little bit of chocolate, so it's all just, there is no point in trying any harder. Today is the day, go and eat whatever you want. You will start tomorrow. And then next day, it's exactly the same conversation, and tomorrow never comes. And this is the vicious circle of dieting. This is what is happening. So what really needs to happen and what really is the important thing is just starting finding, we need to find the reasons why all of this is happening. And I will be telling a little bit more about the reasons, but I wanted to ask Barbara. Barbara, are you okay to talk now? Amazing.
Yes, I am.
I just wanted to ask you, I will just put you on a spotlight. Let me just put it for a second on a gallery view, and then, all right, fantastic. I will put you on a spotlight with me. If you can just tell us why are you here? What is the reason?
Okay, so I was very intrigued because
Welcome. Thank you.
I know that I eat when I'm not hungry, or it seems for no reason. But interestingly enough, it's not stress related as I see it. It could be subconsciously, but I know it's when I've achieved something really great, I want to eat. I want to eat chocolate. I want to reward myself because, oh my gosh, I feel good. Even when I've been like with my family and we've been out, had a great time. Yes. So if I tell you, when I was younger, we were poor. We were so poor. There were eight in my family. And my mum, actually, I didn't know this until I was older. She would just put some gravy on the plate and make it look like she'd eaten, so that when Dad said, "Have you eaten?" she'd say, "Yes, look, there's my empty plate." But she would obviously give us all the food. But it was never enough. I felt like not just food, but everything was never enough because there were 8 of us. And I was like always sharing with everyone else. And I got hand-me-downs from my sisters. Oh, at that time, that's what mum could do. So now I've seen it. I actually see that. It's interesting. And it's only in the last couple of weeks because I've had to focus on my food because my hormones are doing goodness knows what. I went through a very, very difficult patch between April and September where my waist ballooned. My confidence, anxiety, everything went out the window. I've been such a confident person, and I have a job that I love, and I'm always coming up with creative ideas and all of that. It just escaped. I don't know what on earth was going on, and I was in such a bad place. I've had great support from work, but and I've tried so many different things. So I've had to change the way that I eat completely, totally. I've got some great advice in terms of my eating, and it's all that's calmed down, and I have natural products that I use that have helped me enormously because I always go, but I can see, I'd stand by the fridge and I'm looking, what can I eat? And I'm also eating things that actually give me a flipping migraine. Dairy doesn't work for me, but the craving sometimes is immense. And I just don't know how on earth. Cheese, I can go without it for a while, but when you put it in front of me, I can't stop eating it. And then chocolate, not so much anymore, interestingly enough. But there are times like I will go through it. And it's just like you said, it was interesting because after I went back to work, I put my hand in my pocket and I had like 6 different wrappers in my pocket from like after the Christmas do before Christmas. And I was like, oh my goodness. So there is something there about rewards. There is something there about eating. Just, I'm not hungry. I'm not sure why I'm flipping well eating. So I can see it, and it's only just appearing for me now. I've become very much aware of it. Whereas before I would just do it and just keep doing it and not even think about it. So, and I suppose I know it's because I made the decision to change my eating habits, and a conscious decision to do something. So
Barbara,
yes, Laura,
thank you. Thank you so much for your honesty, and thank you for sharing with us what was happening in your childhood as well, and regarding your family. And congratulations on making that decision, because it seems like you were out on one hand so ready to make that decision, and your body was literally just giving you signs like, Barbara, please, please, please. And it's like the shock to the system.
Absolutely. And we were made to finish what was on our plate. And that was another thing, you see. So
Mm,
I had this thing when I go to restaurants, I would eat everything. I don't do that now. It's only in the past couple of years.
yeah.
And we couldn't leave the table. We were told off, we were slapped, we were beaten for not eating all of our food.
Oh,
And food played a big part in, it's the coming together. It still plays a big part in my life. Coming together, when all the family came together, it was food. And then I was started cooking when I was probably about 9 for the
mm,
rest of the family because the girls cooked. And I thoroughly enjoy it and I love it. And but there's two sides of it where there's a sadness to it for me, and then there's a joy, and yeah.
yeah. Oh, thank you so much for sharing this, because there are so many different aspects in just the last 5 minutes what you shared here, because is the what narratives you've got in your head regarding the history, what was happening, if there was scarcity of food, then every time when you in your adult life, every time when there is food, it feels like I need to celebrate the fact that there is food. And it's not your conscious Barbara, it's the body, because body has just learned that behavior, and your subconscious mind as well, because subconscious mind remembers that, okay, food is not always available, so I need to enjoy it and then make it a celebration. And at the same time, because you need it, and Laura is saying that it resonates with her a lot. She will be sharing her story later on in our call, very soon in our call, and she will tell you what has changed for her. And when it comes to that situations that we need to sit at a table and finish everything on our plate, regardless if we are full or not, then there is that really mixed feeling towards food, because on one hand is pleasure, at the same time is a punishment.
Yes.
So then in our adult life, when we want to award ourselves, then we eat. But when we want to punish ourselves, we eat as
Yes.
well. And it's
Yeah.
literally getting to that moment that in adult life, and so many of my clients, where you would be surprised how common that thing is, that we
Wow.
were made to, that we had to eat everything in our childhood, and then in our adult life we are not hungry anymore, but we can't waste food. We have to respect what we've got on our plate, because otherwise we don't have respect to money. We feel like we don't have respect to our parents or our grandparents. It might
Yeah.
be anyone who's not even in this world anymore, but it's embedded in us so much that instead of putting that food in a bin, we would rather use our body as a bin and just eat it.
That's a very good analogy. I haven't looked at it like that. And that's so true.
And
Because that's literally what we're doing.
thank you for sharing this story, because there is so much into it, and I'm definitely going to be in touch with you after the call, because we can unpack so many different things, and the fact that
Thank you, Anna.
there is no coincidence that it's
Mm.
happening now, and you literally a few months ago, or within the last weeks and weeks, you had that, I would call it like awakening, like
Yes,
literally body screaming, please do something.
definitely. I've come such a long way, and I'm so pleased with myself.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'm very determined. When I
Mm,
start something, I have to finish it. Okay. I'm in other aspects of my life. I start projects, I finish, and I would give my all. So when I start a regime, you know, I realize that I can be a bit of a perfectionist.
mhm.
And instead of enjoying the journey and being consistent, I'm more focused on being perfect.
Yeah.
So I've noticed I've relaxed a bit
Mm.
with my eating.
Oh, this
So
is,
I'm
yeah.
I am being consistent. I'm watching, I have an app, like I told you, and I'm watching what I'm eating and I'm putting it in the app. And because that's not something I would normally do because I'm really rubbish at that, but I'm actually getting very good at it
You are committed. So yeah.
because I'm committed. I want
Mm.
to be able to run around with my grandchildren, play with them, play because I play hide and seek with them for 3 hours. and I stuff myself in wardrobes, and I love it so much. I want them to get tired before I do. I don't want to
That's
be a
funny.
sedentary granny on the chair.
Oh my
So
goodness,
that
you're
keeps me
such a
going.
beautiful human being as well. And thank you. And I love the energy. And thank you for your honesty with everything, because it's also,
Pleasure.
what is my why? And Claire said an amazing, Claire, thank you so much for this waste or waste in terms of, do I want to waste that food, or do I want that to, my waste to look okay? And I might not pronounce it super great, but yes, that's the thing. What is my why? If your why is not, all right, I want to fit into particular clothes, but your bigger why is, I just want to spend incredible time with my grandchildren. I just want to be healthy. I just want to enjoy life.
Mm,
This is something what will take you onto an incredible journey with amazing results. So, oh, Barbara, thank you so much for
pleasure.
sharing
Thanks,
this, and thank you for
Anna.
coming to on the call as well, because it's absolutely brilliant. So I'm
Thank you.
so pleased to have you here. Thank you. Oh, so much gold in that share, and the times we are living in now, when it comes to that scarcity versus abundance, there are so many different connections when it comes to eating and that scarcity abundance conversation, because 70 years ago or 80 years ago, so that will be just the 2 or 3 generations before us, those were the time when there was no food because the Second World War was happening. And the trauma and the impact of the fact that we literally can't survive because we don't have food is something what is embedded in us for generations. And it would be with my mom. My mom was born in 1950s, and it's still, I can see, even if she was, you could see that there were differences, but for her, main priority, for her, love language is service, is providing food, is cooking food. She loves it, and this is the best food ever. But it's also that thing, just eat a little bit more. Just, are you sure that you are full? And it's coming from that what was happening in with her parents, where there was no food when she was younger. And this is something what I never heard either, only when it was a few years ago, that when someone experienced those days that they have nothing to eat, then the brain is conditioned that when there is food, we have to eat it and we have to make the most of it, because tomorrow we might be in the same situation that there will be no food. And this is only in our subconscious mind. So if we don't understand what is happening, we will never be able to heal it. We will never be able to change it. And what I do as a psychonutritionist is getting to those underlying the beliefs which are underlying in our subconscious mind. So whatever we think is one thing, but whatever we feel is the most important part. And the connection between how we were brought up, the connection between what we think about ourselves and how we relate to ourselves. I keep giving those examples that if we believe that we've got a lot on our shoulders, I guarantee that our shoulders will have to be big because we need to cope with that. And our subconscious mind is the mirror reflection of our body. So what happens is our subconscious mind is a funny part because it doesn't have a sense of humor. It takes everything literally. So if we experience any kind of trauma in our childhood, or it might be in our houses, maybe one of the parents was alcoholic or maybe was abusive. And when we were children, we really wanted to be older because we wanted to stand up for ourselves and just protect maybe our mother or protect our siblings. And if we were wishing, I just want to be bigger, I just want to be bigger, our subconscious mind took it seriously. And that is the reason for my particular story. That's the reason why I started being bigger when I was small, because I just wanted for everything what was happening in my house, I just wanted to be bigger because I wanted to say different things to my dad, even if it wasn't very serious. But in my little head, I felt that, oh no, if he's drinking from time to time, then I don't feel secure or I don't feel safe. And this is how our body is working. And also, the last thing which I want to say before Laura shares her story is the language. It's for everyone who's here and everyone who's watching the recording. We really need to be careful about what language we use when we talk about ourselves, because there is that a very, very common phrase to say that we are fighting with our bodies, we are fighting with our weight, or we want to lose weight. But the reality is that when we go back to our nervous system and our subconscious mind, if we feel that we need to fight with something, when you go to the animals world, when you've got a fight between two animals, a bigger one and a smaller one, which one is going to win? Of course, the big one. So if we are constantly thinking that we need to fight our weight, we need to fight with our bodies, this is the vicious circle. We can do whatever we want. We can eat the healthiest diet ever. We can do as much exercise as we want. But if our nervous system is in fight or flight state, we will never be able to actually drop that weight. And I said drop that weight because losing weight is something what is, again, a vicious circle. The moment we lose something, in nature and in our lives, everything is about balance. If we lose something, we have to gain something. So the moment we lose weight, it's not only about grieving, because then every time when we lose something, we need to grieve. And grieving is a very interesting process because there are a lot of different emotions attached. So if we keep saying to ourselves, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight, I need to lose weight, then we feel that we are deprived of something, that we are not complete because we need to lose something. That's why just swapping that word to, I just want to reduce my weight, or I just want to drop weight, or the question is, what do I want to gain? I want to gain health, or I want to gain those incredible memories with my grandchildren going forwards, or I want to gain that incredible moments, that time. I want to gain like new habits. I want to gain the completely new wardrobe, because we know that when we change the habits, our bodies will be changing. So just making small adjustments to everything what is happening, this is the power of our mind. This is how it works. So yes, and thank you for all the comments. In the meantime, I was having a small look. I can see that definitely everyone relates. And yes, Barbara, as you are saying, we create ourselves in our words. Absolutely, 100%. And there are so many different examples of that as well. So I just wanted, Laura is one of my clients. What you can see behind me, Feed Your Body, Not Your Mind, is the name of the program which I run, which is the online group coaching program, where we meet for 12 weeks and we do so many incredible things when it comes to mindset, when it comes to understanding emotions. And my main goal as a emotional eating coach and as a psychonutritionist, and on this journey which I have been a part of, or it's been a big part of my life, I've realized that the moment we understand what is happening in our mind, and the moment we free ourselves up from shame, from guilt, from anger, from that vicious circle, this is the moment when we can start living completely different life. Because not being a prisoner of our own mind, which is literally constructed with our own words, that's, in my opinion, the biggest freedom we can get in life. And what I am really passionate about is bringing the choice back to your life. Because if I force you to do something, I guarantee that you will never do it. Because this is how our psyche works. If someone is forcing us to do something, then there is a lot of resistance. If there is a lot of resistance with time, there is a lot of resentment, a lot of anger. We won't get there. But if you can actually understand what is happening and start making your own choices, for me, it feels like when you have that prison, and this is the emotional eating, and you are in a prison of emotional eating, I'm not giving my clients the keys. We do the work so the clients can actually create their own keys, or find those keys, open that prison, and just walk away free. Because then when we walk away free, then you can do whatever you want with your life. But it's guaranteed that you are not going back to that prison, because you made so many changes, and sometimes you don't even realize when those changes happen, but you know that that prison, it's not your identity anymore, it's not your life anymore, and you can live something completely different. So Laura is one of my beautiful, amazing clients, and I do have to say that the beauty of this work is that clients become friends.
I know.
Laura, thank you so much for coming on the call today, and please just share with us
Oh my goodness.
why you came, what was your journey before, and what has been happening since then. Now we've been working together for 5 months. You finished the program and you've decided to carry on. So please share your experience.
Thanks, Anna. I mean, it's only been 5 months, and it seems like it does seem like a lifetime, because I can't remember the person I was when I started. I'm like, I'm not that anymore. And I just absolutely love this session because it's taken me back to the basics from when we first had our discovery call and all that. I'm just literally like, oh my God, just all this stuff. It's just pure gold. And it is yeah, the whole reframing. So my journey has been similar-ish to Barbara. You know, I was kind of conditioned as a kid to finish everything on my plate. I had my mum and my nan that have been on a diet since the day I was born. They were trying to lose a pound, 2 pound, this pound. All they've done is just, you know, put on weight. So diet and losing weight was always just a thing. And I followed the same pattern. So I've done this. I've done extreme dieting where I've almost competed for a bikini body competition, which went really, really badly. And then that failed, and I got massive and small and traumas, just forced me to eat. And also the last 5 years had got really, really bad. I was putting on a stone a year. I was drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. Like Anna said, it's just the numbing of pain and all of that stuff. But yeah, thanks, Anna. You've changed everything. And it's about the reframing stuff. You just don't know what you don't know. And I think it was like kind of session 1 or 2 we had that Anna just dropped one and said, just reframe your saying no to yourself. And it was kind of that simple for me, because I would beat myself to death about, you know, eating too much, and then my rebellious inner self would go, I can do what I want, and then I would. And it was that whole cycle. So I stopped saying, no, you can't have this, no, you can't have that, and just reframed it to, I'm going to have this instead. I'm making a decision that I'm going to do this instead of saying no to myself. And just that one simple thing, I mean, there's tons of gold in this, but that one simple thing just totally changed my mindset. And oh my God, like in 3 months, I've lost 2 stone with Anna. And not only that, before we started I mean, there's no way on earth I'd even be on a Zoom call and speaking, not a chance. I became agoraphobic. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. You know, I wouldn't go out. I mean, I'd order food in all the time because I was just too embarrassed about my self-consciousness of how I looked and what I'd done to myself after being really skinny. And then putting on so much weight, I felt so ashamed of myself. You know, I just wouldn't go. And, you know, I've got a business where I have to be present. I have to, you know, be with people, and I just stopped doing it. So it's affected every single part of my life. I lost friends because I was just too embarrassed to show myself or to be present. And it was a real thing. And I had got myself into a very, very dark space indeed. It was horrible. So much has changed. It's not like the weight loss has actually been a byproduct of the way I've reframed things with Anna's coaching, that I don't even think about it anymore. Yeah, I've still got a bit of a journey to go. You know, I've still got a couple of stones to lose, but fine. I don't even really care about that. It's not even a thing. I've been to some award. Yeah, this is a good one. I mean, I only realized a few weeks after I'd done it, that what I'd done. So I presented an award at an events industry thing in front of 800 of my peers. And I got up on stage and I did this presentation and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, like I'd never be able to do that. But the interesting thing is I bought a dress and I got ready. I put my makeup on and I just went. Zero meltdowns of I can't wear this, oh my God, changing 10 times, putting it, was just like I can't go. It just wasn't there. I just went and did it. And I was like, what the hell just happened? But that is kind of showing up every day for me now. I mean, you would never get me on a Zoom call, 8 months ago, not a chance. Yeah, so like my whole life's changed. My whole life has changed with it. And I know I still got a few stone to lose, whatever. But I actually don't care about it. It doesn't dominate my entire life when I wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, I look terrible. Oh my God, I'm so fat, which makes me eat more and do more, drink more. It has gone completely, all of that stuff. So Anna, I bloody love you so much. You've literally changed my life.
And I love you too. And I think this is the first time we keep saying this to each other, but I think this is the first time we are doing this publicly on something what will be on YouTube. So yeah, Laura, I am just amazed by everything what has been happening to you. And I remember two significant moments, which were two significant voice notes you sent to me.
Oh,
the first one, which was after session number 2, I think it was 14 days into the program. And I just want to say that I think after the first coaching session, we had a call because you wanted to do one-to-one. You didn't want to do group sessions. And I said, just give it a go and see, because in group coaching, you got there were another 20 people who were in a similar situation, and there was so much safety and so much support that Laura, who wanted to drop the group coaching and go into one-to-one, a week after our conversation, after 2 coaching sessions, sent me a voice note. And I remembered that you said to me, for the last 2 years, I haven't left my house because I'm too embarrassed to be seen. And the message was, Anna, I have no idea what's happened, but I'm just coming back from the swimming pool. And today is day number 7 with no alcohol. And I just listened to that message and I remember I was crying because I was just, you could.
Oh, bless. I know. Swimming costume in a pool. I mean, oh my God. What the hell?
It was just, and nothing has changed regarding the way you looked in the beginning. It was that massive shift that this is who I am. I'm committed to this journey. You were recommended to the program by our mutual friend who did the program. We never knew ourselves. You didn't know anything. It was literally that trusting thing. And you came and you just started smashing it, because it's not about the results on the scale. I was talking to the client today and she said, Anna, I've got so many non-scale results from this program. And that was the thing, which is that for me, this is the most important thing, because the weight drop is just a side effect. I keep laughing that it's a side effect. And the second message which you sent to me, it's regarding that situation. I remember you sent me a voice note. I think it was after 2 days after that event when you hosted that reward. And it's like, I only realized now that I just put the dress on and I just went. There was no drama. It's like, it would never happen in my life. And there was something about the Christmas do as well, that you did pretty much the same and you just went and had fun.
I mean, before I seriously wouldn't have even gone to a supermarket to buy food or buy anything because I was too ashamed of myself. I mean, it was so dark. I mean, it was such a dark place. And it is really interesting because this is quick, right? I mean, this has been a really quick transformation. When I think it's only been, well, we met in July, didn't we, last year?
Yes, the program started in July.
Yeah. I can't actually even when I think about that, I think about it in terms of being a completely different person, like it's not me. And yeah, that's so massive.
Yeah, yeah. And you sent me a picture today, and I was actually, the other day I was I was watching snapshots from the previous programs, and it's amazing when I looked at everyone, how everyone looks. And Claire, who's here as well, she did my program with you, Claire. We will be having an interview the other day, but looking at everyone, it's not about how we looked in terms of our body or our weight. It's how we looked and how you looked as well in terms of the energy. Because you were when we started working, it was like, I want to do something, but I have no idea how. And then all of a sudden there was some light which just switched on, and it's been like that since then. So it's the impact of understanding your mindset and just changing this mindset. And I want to ask you one question, and you can say yes or no. Do you think that you're going to go back
No, it's
to how it
impossible.
was?
No, it's actually impossible. I wouldn't be able to now. It's impossible because I'm not that person anymore. I'm just not that.
And I
It's
never asked this question. I never asked you this question because
never
that's the thing. But it's
have.
literally
What's she going to ask me? Help.
your energy, and we didn't prepare to that, by the way. We just love talking to, and we still do the continuation program together. But the reality is that this is what I've heard from a lot of clients is it's impossible to undo something what has been done already. And this is the beauty of this work, because we are working on a subconscious mind. The moment we change the subconscious mind, we change the identity. If you know that your identity, which is a bunch of thoughts about you, is that I've got this, there is nothing what can help. Even if there are days when you might be eating completely differently, and something might be, you might not be exercising, or you might not be feeling very well for some time, you know that you are going back because you don't know how not to do it. And it's
Yeah.
not about regime, it's not about the diet, because we don't do any diets. I'm against dieting.
Yeah, I mean, I've like dropped. I mean, we all do what works for us. I guess we're all different. But I've just dropped scale. I do not do scales anymore because that
And
is,
it was your big thing when you started.
yeah, it was. And that's what I'd been programmed by my mother and my nan or whatever. They get on the scale every single day. Oh, I lost a pound. Blah, blah, blah. I just dropped this. I just don't care, and I don't need to know what the scales say. It's about, how I feel, and then I know if my clothes fit, and then I mean, I had a massive shock because I stopped using scales and I weighed myself after Anna's program. I just dropped tons of weight. Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you stopped doing this, and that was after this.
Yeah, absolutely. But then even like over Christmas time, I mean, the difference in terms of mindset shift is that, yeah, I ate loads over Christmas. I had goose fat potatoes, and I just did like it because I'm a feeder. I love, like Barbara said, like feeding the family and doing very hearty meals. I love it, and I ate all of it. But you know what? I didn't give a monkeys about what I ate because it didn't matter. It didn't, because I know that it's not going to send me on a downward spiral of self like beating and because I just didn't care, and straight back onto what my normal is now.
And the thing is that there was a question from Barbara. I will ask this question in a minute because it was questioned to you. What you are the embodiment of is my philosophy, which is there is no such a thing as forbidden food.
Yeah.
Because we are the people who put labels. This is a good food, this is a bad food, this is a healthy, this is unhealthy. Okay, healthy, unhealthy, I agree with that. But this is right, this is wrong. No, the moment we put those labels, we just limit ourselves. The reality is that we can eat everything as long as we can, first of all, balance it. And second of all, if we make a decision that we want to eat it. Because the worst thing is being mutiny. I want, I don't want, I want, I don't want. And then we eat it. And then we end up beating ourselves up. So we end up eating even more. We don't enjoy time with our family because we are still in our head thinking, I shouldn't have eaten this, I shouldn't have eaten this. No, okay, I'm going to eat a lot and then I'm going to go to bed early because I won't be feeling very well. that's the freedom. For me, this is the definition of freedom. And there were so many, like over 60 clients finished the program so far now. And most of them came back to me saying, Anna, this is the first Christmas when I ate whatever I wanted, and I actually didn't beat myself up as much as I did in the past. And I actually felt really good about myself. And this is the definition of freedom. So Barbara asked, Laura, what are your eating habits like now that your mind has changed?
I choose to eat what I choose to eat, and I know what's good for me, and I know what's healthy. And I'm cooking for myself now, whereas before I just got takeaways. But I quite enjoy the cooking. You know, I'm a single mom. You know, I've got my daughter, and she's a bit fussy, and I guess I use that as a bit of an excuse to not bother and just get it delivered and just eat absolute like fatty carbs. And I mean, I do love junk food. Do you know what? Sometimes I have it, and I will have it, but it doesn't matter because I wake up in the morning and I'll just go for something that I really enjoy that's healthy. You know, sort of like a salmon, scrambled eggs, some asparagus and a avocado or something like that. I mean, I think we all know what's good for us.
Yeah.
But it's the I'm making the choice to have those things, and I know it makes me feel better. And it's just not a battle in my head anymore. It's like just an easy choice.
Just natural. Yeah, it
Yeah,
feels like the second
and
nature.
actually, really healthy food is actually bloody lovely. It's so much nicer than that old crap that you get, like that makes you feel afterwards. It does. Like, you know, I haven't had sort of McDonald's and all that for a long time, and when I have recently, it's tasted like it's not the same.
You know, it's so.
I'd rather have just a beautiful, big, colourful plate of salady, lovely chickeny. Oh, it's just, yeah, different.
Yeah.
Different.
And thank you for that, Barbara. Does it answer your question? Amazing. And you know what? It's great that you said that, because I had few complaints from clients saying, Anna, chocolate doesn't taste as good as it used to.
That's your fault.
Yeah, and I was like, are you complaining or what is happening? And the thing is that what happens, and normally people don't know when it happens. It just something just shifts at some point, because it's the work on the subconscious mind in a group environment, when we can actually heal all the traumas and all the wounds. But what basically happens is we put so much emotional charge, or we add so much emotional charge onto the processed food, because it reminds us about all those good times, or reminds us about those moments when, you know, when we were kids and we were having mother's milk. It just felt so good, and it was sweet, and it was fatty. And when we think about chocolate, subconsciously we just think about that safety and that love and that connection. And then when we understand that this is just food, then all of a sudden you can taste it for what it is, not for what it reminds you of subconsciously. And exactly the same with the McDonald's, with peanut butter, with crisps, with bagels in Claire's case, with cookies, everything. Because then we finally realize, right, this is just food. And we can still use it to celebrate, of course, because it's such a big part of our culture. But just understanding that, okay, I choose it. I want to eat it because I want to eat it, not because I want to feel that comfort and I want to hide in a bowl of processed food. I've got nothing against McDonald's, nothing against chocolate. I really do believe that food freedom is something that should be available to everyone, but it needs to be done here.
Can I just add one more thing that is
Please.
Totally powerful, and is very honest and very vulnerable. But actually, one of the biggest problems that I had was with alcohol, because that just numbed so much. So the alcohol always led to the junk food, and it was just that vicious cycle. I mean, I had a real issue with alcohol. I mean, I was drinking probably 2 bottles of wine a night. And become incredibly introverted, and it was just a horrible, horrible cycle. But 7 months now, completely teetotal. I mean, and I had been drinking every day for 5 years. yeah, literally probably trying to kill myself with alcohol because I was just so depressed. This has been life-changing because I can't imagine where I might be now had I not just taken a leap. Like, I'm alive now. I want to be alive. I've got loads to live for. Yeah, it's not just the food, it's just having my life back and being a mum present to my kids, and you know, they've like, oh my God, mummy, I'm so proud of you, new person, all this. I mean, it's just wow, it's huge. So
Oh, thank you so much, Laura, and just thank you for everything, every single inch of your being, every single word of this share, and oh, and we didn't share that last thing. I knew that's what was happening, but we didn't talk about alcohol, and I didn't realize that it's been like that for the whole 7 months. So thank you. Thank you. And yes, definitely publicly admitted we are in love with each other, but it's definitely the soul sisters love. Oh, thank you so much, Laura. Thank you. Okay, and we're actually a little bit over time. Thank you to everyone who joined today, and thank you for everyone who's watching on the recording. I will put details regarding my program Feed Your Body, Not Your Mind in the description of this video. I will also put details regarding how you can book a call with me and how you can find out more details about the price, when it happens, what is included, etc., etc. But for today, I would love to thank every single one of you who's here and every single person who took their time to watch it. Thank you. And I just hope that whatever journey you decide to take, it will bring you that freedom which we have been talking about for the last hour, because it is the best gift we can give ourselves. So thank you so much to everyone. And yes, see you hopefully very soon at some
Thank
space.
you so much. It's an
Thank you,
absolute pleasure.
Barbara. Thank you so,
Laura.
so much.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.